welcome to the 42nd annual Sun and Fun Fly-In, and actually it's an international convention and fly-in. Used to be just a fly-in, now it's an international convention, and it is truly international, every spirit of the world. And we are here this week recognizing our armed forces. Yesterday was Army Day, today is Navy Day. And if you are not here with us on the field, then you're obviously watching this on your computer monitor or your 70-inch monitor hanging on the wall. We're Florida Aviation Network. It's at www.floridaaviationnetwork.com. And I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts. We'll have other hosts through the week here, but our whole purpose of here, this is a volunteer organization, is to bring compelling, informative, educational information to you, the viewer, and the public. That's our mission and our goal for the National Aviation Safety Foundation. I'm a volunteer myself. I work for Mahindra Aerospace. I'm a demo pilot and a factory rep for the Airvan GA8 aircraft. And we'll talk a little bit about that at another time. But today we're talking about education, and we have a guest here with us, Mr. Reggie Arsenault. Reggie.
Ben.
Good to meet you.
Nice
and
to meet you.
We were just kind of developing a little bit of rapport beforehand. And Reggie, you're with Jeppesen. And Jeppesen is, everybody just knows it as a Jeppesen or Jep charts, but Jeppesen is much more than just approach charts.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit what your initiatives with AOPA are doing to help educate and bring this 500,000 pilots that we're going to need in the next 14 years now.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeppesen is, as many people are aware, part of the Boeing company. We're a fully owned subsidiary of Boeing, and as such, we work very closely with our parent company to ensure that we deliver solutions out to not only general aviation, but commercial, military, and business aviation. For the general aviation market, our primary focus is on navigation products and flight training products. That's what Jeppesen is mostly known for across the globe. And we recognize that it's also, as a company for Boeing and Jeppesen, that it's important for us to also contribute to how do we improve the overall industry, how do we grow the industry, and in particular, how do we ensure that the next generation of pilots are coming through that pipeline. And obviously that's very important to our parent company, Boeing, as they're delivering airplanes out to the commercial airline industry. One of the ways that we do that is we partner very closely with a lot of associations around the world, but one in particular that's a close partner of ours is AOPA, Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association. And one of the things they recognize is also that, it's unfortunate, but with the younger generation coming up through, maybe aviation isn't quite as glamorous as it once was, several years ago. And so we're all doing our part to try to change that, to bring that attraction back to the great industry that we all get to be part of. And AOPA is leading that charge, and one of the ways that they're doing that is they're reaching out to, there's several aviation high schools across the nation. And when they went out there and looked at those aviation high school curriculums, what they found is that all of them are doing a very important role and a very important part in the industry, but everybody's doing it slightly different. And maybe they don't have all the resources that are actually out there. Maybe they don't even know how to contact some of the companies and the resources that exist in the industry. And so we partnered up with AOPA. We're taking a very close look at that. I think it's a very important initiative to get that younger generation in. And so we work with them to figure out how do we best provide them the right resources, maybe try to align some of the programs so that there's a similar experience for students that are coming through that program. And how do we best support that? We feel it's a very important initiative and one of the many that we are a part of.
And Reggie, how, and your title is Director of General Aviation.
Correct.
For Jeppesen.
That's right. There's actually 4 market segments that we serve: commercial aviation, military aviation, business aviation, and general aviation. And I lead the general aviation business for Jeppesen globally. And with that responsibility is basically ensuring that we have the right products and services out to the market, as well as ensuring that we partner up with the right industry partners to ensure that we help the industry.
What type of products are you going to offer, or do you offer currently, to say like Central Florida Aerospace Academy, the high school across the street here? What type of product can you box up and send to a classroom for high school?
Yeah, the big thing that I think that all of us, even at the university and flight school level, are preparing for is that digital age. And so Jeppesen is also on that transformation as we move our business away from paper to digital. It's pretty much already there for the most part. And certainly the airlines that we're serving are already expecting a level of automation and that digital presence. And so I think that what we have the ability to do to deliver even at the high school level is the resources and support material to actually educate them on that digital platform. And the reality is obviously students this day and age are already pretty familiar with that. So we can package up whether it's an online training program or it's obviously navigation apps on a mobile, on an iPad device. Those sort of things are the things that we can support a school with.
So you're actually, for example, there's a lot of folks that haven't really switched on to the digital age, and in reality what you're doing is you're making textbooks. You make textbooks in a digital format where that would be a package that you deliver basically, and the curriculum, the structure, the syllabus, how deep do you get into the education psyche or the actual building blocks of aviation? And it's not just aviation, it's anything that you want to learn about.
Yeah, absolutely. We, it's interesting, Ben. The thing that we've seen at the university and flight school, university level in particular, is that they're starting to integrate more of that online program into the classroom. And what we found, and we're starting to see a trend towards, is the best way to do that is actually use the online program as a supplement to the in-classroom training. In the past, obviously, you can go into a classroom and they can literally teach verbatim the textbook material that's in the chapter after chapter. But what we found is that the self-learning experience, and we can supplement that with an online program, is actually is a better use of that technology, such that when they do get to the classroom, it's the instructors are actually able to spend more time on real case scenarios and really dive into more of the experience side, I guess, of flying and how to teach that versus trying to teach verbatim stuff that really the student can learn on their own outside of that. So that's how we mold in and integrate technology with how they're doing the classroom training as well. So.
Reggie, how do you deal with testing? Because testing right now is, and even when you take your FAA written exam, it's on a computer, and it's a multiple choice, and I don't know about you, but back in my college days, if you knew about somebody that had the answers to the test, hey, Reggie's got the answers to the test this Friday, you want a copy? Well, sure, everybody wants a copy of the test. Well, for the FAA test, it's public information. And that's the reason that they open it up to you to all the test questions, or you can learn every one of them. But if you memorize every one of the 1,096 questions just for a 50-question test, good for you. Rote memory. What are you guys doing to challenge those who try to hang their hat on rote memory to pass a test rather than the true building block of learning? And the true form of learning, the definition, a change in behavior. How are you guys combating that desire for people to cheat, basically, on a test, as opposed to actually learn the material?
Yeah, it's actually an important challenge and one to address. I'm not sure if we'll ever get away from the standardized testing that the FAA has to do as part of those formal certificates. But the thing that we try to bring in, and that's where we really leverage technology to help us with that. In particular, with example for like our online program, we try to make it more of situational type learning versus just memorizing an answer. And so, some of the ways you can do that is actually provide scenarios in which they've got to perform an action. So it's an interactive type of module that they have with the online program. And that you can't. It's not an answer to memorize. It's more about how do you flow a checklist, or how do you go through a sequence in a particular flight scenario as far as airplane configurations and step maneuvers. And you have to interact with the program in order to do that. And some of the ways that we do that within the online program is, obviously the online program shows you exactly what those steps are, but then we shut off the tutorial, and the student is left there to go through the steps. Obviously there is some memorization with that, but actually go through the steps based on what's presented as far as a question. And obviously the program helps them with that as well. So it is a challenge. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure if we'll get away from the standardized testing, but we can certainly ensure that the learning experience outside of testing is better and more comprehensive.
Well, Reggie, as they say, the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
And if you are successful, when I'm in awe about everything that Jeppesen does.
Thanks.
Excellent products, and I've got to hand it to you. You do well.
Thank you. Then.
And the proof's in the pudding. Let's see how many kids we can spit out and keep them in the industry. Not just want to check it out, we want them to enjoy learning about it and living the dream, because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've enjoyed my time in aviation.
I love aviation. I can't imagine being in any other industry. So yeah.
That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
Reggie.
Ben, thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to close it out and wrap it up on this interview.
Okay.
And again, Navy Day here at Sun and Fun 42. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts, and we're going to wrap it up and, as they say in the formation flying business, knock it off for this interview. See you next trip.